Not only had Lex loved me despite my awkwardness, faults, and emotional scars, but her presence came with a most welcome side effect. When I was with her, my heightened wolf senses and powers faded, which meant that I fell in love with her in the depths of normalcy. I didn't have insights into her emotions through her scent or heartbeat or any of those obvious tells. I had to navigate my feelings for her and her feelings for me like an everyday human. It felt amazing to feel so normal and yet so extraordinarily blessed by being with Lex. We had figured out, by accident, that Lex possessed a strange ability that caused bad luck to harmful actions directed towards her, as well as a side effect of nullifying my special senses and powers. It only seemed to work when I was near her. The effect faded when she was asleep, like she was now. But it meant that when I was with her, I could be a normal human. I could live a normal life. Well, apart from the fact that for about 10 days every month I morphed into a wolf. Lex was the first person with whom I had willingly shared the details of my affliction. Technically, she was the second, but the first person I told was in a situation when I had no other option, because the change was coming at me like a freight train, and I had no choice but to explain what she was about to witness. But with Lex, it was voluntary, and built off the mutual trust and late-night, in-depth conversations and sharing. We relayed the curses we had both been living with alone, and became stronger for the sharing of those experiences, because we no longer had to bear those curses on our own. We had one another, and we were on our way to building a new life together. Among the sounds of murmuring voices of the other passengers, I heard the pilot speaking. It wasn't on the intercom, though. My super-enhanced hearing was picking up his voice talking to the co-pilot. He was talking about the heat wave in New Jersey and how the thinner air would make it more dangerous to land. Flight takeoffs and landings had been delayed, and they needed to circle over the greater New York area waiting for the sun to set and the air to cool down enough before they'd likely get the go-ahead that it was safe to land. This wasn't good, because timing-wise, tonight the moon was expected to be at 82% in New York City. Lex and I had devised a plan on how she would help me get to a safe location to change into wolf form shortly after we landed. But this new delay, staying in the air until after the sun set, that would not go over well. I don't think that this airline was prepared to deal with any sort of wolves on a plane scenario. I opened my eyes just as the pilot was coming on the PA system to announce this update to the passengers. Lex woke as the pilot made his announcement. "What do I do now?" I asked Lex when he finished sharing the delay that would mean landing after nightfall. "Lock myself in the restroom?" "I don't know," she said. "Oh," I said, feeling the tingling and ringing sensation in my head, the aura that I knew meant the change was about to happen, coming over me. "It's happening now. It's happening early." "The altitude must be causing an altered reaction," she whispered. I looked down at my hand, the one Lex was clasping, and watched incredulously as tufts of fur grew out of the back of it. Simultaneously, I felt the tautness of my arm muscles stiffen and jerk. I had never been conscious of the change into wolf form before. I had always blacked out and never experienced it happening. This was different. Lex and I stared at my hands as my fingers retracted and the bones of my hands compressed. It was excruciating, and I let out a squeal of pain. What the hell was happening? Why was I experiencing the change consciously? With the pain I was feeling this early in the process, was it even possible for me to maintain sanity while it was happening? There's no way a person could remain of sound mind experiencing this intensity of anguish. I looked into Lex's eyes, tried to tell her I loved her, but my lips no longer worked. My face was distorting as my jaw started to elongate. She didn't look horrified about the creature I was turning into. She appeared empathetic, and the scent rolling off her was of love, compassion, and concern for my well-being. "It's okay, Cal. I'm here. I've got you. We've got this." Her words were soothing, and I focused on them as the pain in my body and my entire head intensified.